Today, we're going to dive into a story that's, well, it's both really personal and at the same time massive on an industrial scale. It's the journey of one expert whose career literally charts the transformation of India's entire lubricants industry from just a basic commodity to a super high-tech, high-value field. So let's get right into it.
This right here is the mantra that guides our expert. And honestly, it sets the stage for everything we're about to unpack. It's such a powerful idea, right? Moving beyond just the quick, easy profits and focusing on building something that's really built to last. Let's see how that one philosophy helped shape an entire industry.
You know, our story doesn't start with some grand, lifelong plan. It actually begins with a responsibility that was sort of handed down. This is the story of how someone who stepped into a family business almost out of duty became a genuine pioneer in the industry.
So picture this. It's 1996. Fresh out of school with degrees in engineering and management, our expert joins the family business. And at the time, it's a pretty small operation, focused on a very specific niche, machinery for the textile industry. This is the ground floor, the starting point from which everything else is going to grow.
This timeline really just lays it all out. He joins the business in '96, and then a decade later, bam, 2006, a huge breakthrough in synthetic oil. That one success really opened the door to tackling even bigger challenges, like creating a homegrown Indian alternative to a super specialized Japanese grease. And now, today, that journey has led him to driving R&D and, just as importantly, mentoring the next generation.
So what was the spark? What turned that sense of responsibility into a real, genuine passion? The answer is simple: problem solving. Every customer came in with a new puzzle. Maybe it was machinery under extreme stress, or unique operating conditions, or a new push for a more sustainable solution. It was this constant intellectual challenge, this blend of engineering and chemistry, that really lit the fire.
Okay, this brings us to a massive shift. And I'm not just talking about for one company. I mean for the entire industry. We're talking about moving from a world where lubricants were just bought based on the price per liter to a whole new era where the focus is on total value and long-term performance. It's a game changer. That breakthrough moment we mentioned? It was in 2006 with a huge order for synthetic gear oil for a major cement plant. Now, this wasn't just a sale, this was proof. It was proof that an Indian company could innovate and compete on the world stage, delivering these high-performance solutions that used to be completely dominated by the big global giants. It was a huge shot of confidence for the entire domestic industry.
And this evolution really changed the industry's DNA. I mean, it was a move away from basic mineral oils to these highly engineered synthetic products, from simple formulas to really complex ones with advanced additives. But the biggest shift of all? It was the mindset, moving from obsessing over the upfront cost per liter to truly understanding the total cost of ownership.
So what does total cost of ownership actually mean for a customer? Well, it means pretty much everything. It means lubricants that last way longer, so you're not changing them as often. It means machines that run more efficiently, saving you money on energy. And maybe most importantly, it means your equipment is way more reliable, which leads to less downtime and lower maintenance bills. The takeaway is simple. Yeah, you might pay a little more upfront, but you save so much more in the long run.
All right, let's look ahead now. The industry is right on the edge of some incredible opportunities. But, and this is a big but, to actually grab them, it has to face some pretty urgent challenges head-on.
And the future looks seriously cool. We're talking about things like nano additives that can dramatically boost performance. Bio-based lubricants are moving from a tiny niche to the mainstream, especially with all the pressure for sustainability. New standards, like making sure products are PFS-free, are becoming the norm. Even grease technology is getting a major upgrade, with advanced formulas replacing the old-school stuff. But here's the catch. All this exciting innovation, it all hinges on one thing: whether the industry can finally get serious about solving three fundamental, on-the-ground problems. Challenge number one is disposal. Our expert is crystal clear on this. In India, how we handle and recycle used lubricants is a massive environmental blind spot. It's just not being taken seriously enough. And this isn't just about better rules. It's about a fundamental shift in awareness from top to bottom.
Second, there's the human element. Look, you can have the best, most advanced lubricant in the world, but if the person actually applying it isn't properly trained, you're still going to get equipment failure. Simple mistakes, like using too much or too little, happen all the time, and they just completely undermine all that incredible science.
And that leads directly to our third challenge: a growing skills gap. The technology is just moving so fast that a lot of professionals are struggling to keep up. Continuous learning in tribology, that's the actual science of friction and wear, it's not a luxury anymore. It's an absolute necessity.
Now, despite those challenges, the growth potential is absolutely huge. So where are the biggest opportunities? Well, heavy industry and infrastructure are booming in India, and they demand top-tier lubricants. Aerospace and defense is another key area with really specialized needs. And of course, general manufacturing keeps on growing, and that constant push for more efficiency is creating huge demand for specialty products.
So how do we pull all of this together? This last section is all about laying out a strategic vision, a real game plan for building a future-ready lubricants industry in India. Here it is, a clear, three-step blueprint. First, you have to build a rock-solid distribution network. India isn't just one market, it's a collection of many different markets. Second, you've got to tailor your products. What works in one climate or industrial area might totally fail in another. And third, be practical. Don't over-engineer things. Create products that are perfectly optimized for the real-world conditions they're going to face. But a blueprint isn't enough if everyone tries to go it alone. The expert argues that the real accelerator, the key to unlocking all this potential, is a powerful partnership that can push the entire sector forward, together. So what does this partnership look like? It's an innovation triangle. You have industry on one side, bringing the real-world problems to the table. Then you have academia, providing the deep, fundamental research to actually solve them. And finally, you have policymakers, creating the framework that encourages investment and adoption. When those three forces work together, that's when you get real, lasting transformation.
But this kind of collaboration creates more than just fancy new products. It creates skilled people. It builds that future-ready talent pool we need to close the skills gap we talked about earlier. It becomes this amazing, self-sustaining cycle of innovation and talent.
Which leaves us with this one last, powerful question. Yeah, this story started with lubricants, but this model, this could be applied to just about anything. So just think about it for a second. What really becomes possible when these three crucial pillars of a society truly align to solve not just commercial problems, but a nation's biggest challenges? The potential is absolutely limitless.